Okay. Alright, so I'm Fer from Stella Doradus. I'm an engineer working with Stella Doradus. We're a family-based business. Okay, we've been in business for the last 30 years, but in the last 10 years we've been making mobile phone repeaters. Okay. Before that, for about 15 years, we were designing antennas. But in the last 10 years, just repeaters, and we're the only manufacturer of repeaters in the EU. So let's just do a quick overview. First of all, here's a repeater system. Outdoor antenna, cable, repeater, cable, indoor antenna. You can only repeat a signal if the signal exists. If there's no signal, the system doesn't work. Okay? It's fairly obvious. The stronger the signal in here, the stronger the signal will be here. Okay? So you want a nice strong signal because that means you're going to have more coverage inside. The weaker the signal in here, the less coverage you have inside. Okay? So with a repeater system, ideally you want to see a good strong signal outside, and actually you want to see a very poor signal inside. Ideally you want to see a big difference between the two, because that is when a repeater system will be most effective. Okay. Next thing, here's a couple of systems. Here's the basic home system. It's the simplest type of system. Here's an office repeater. The difference is it's got 4 ports. So you get 4 different areas inside the building, 4 times the indoor coverage. Okay, and then we've got big systems. Okay, this is where things become a bit more complicated. With regards to installations, this is where it becomes more complicated. We're mainly going to be talking about big systems in this talk. But every single time it's the same thing. That donor antenna on the roof needs a good, clean signal. Alright, so this is critical. This part of the installation is critical. Okay, where you put the antenna on the roof. Again, same situation for boats. For ships, the only difference here is we've used an omnidirectional antenna. Obviously the boat's moving around. Okay, and with this system you can actually get the signal 30 kilometers off the coast. Okay, so that's a big deal for ships, because normally they use satellite systems, which are expensive. This is a cost-effective solution for ships. Back to the system here. Okay. Sure. Okay, so here we're going to just talk about the individual components of a repeater system. Alright. So we start with the outdoor antenna. 99% of the time you're going to use this Yagi antenna, this guy here. Alright. So this is a really nice antenna, okay? It's light, it's easy to install, and it works very well, and it's quite directive. Okay, so most of the time you're going to use this antenna. However, if you do find that you're installing in a capital city, a big dense environment with hundreds of base stations, like Paris for example, and you're going to use, you might have to use this antenna here. Okay, this is a high gain, narrow beam antenna, which is used in big cities for singling out specific base stations you want to use. Okay, it's rare you're going to have to use this. You may never have to use this, but increasingly in our business, we're starting to install our systems in big cities, in hotels and the likes. So increasingly, we're selling this gear. So if you can use this gear, I'm going to teach you how to use this. Once you know how to use this, then you know how to install the most difficult installations, which is what we're going to cover in this course. The indoor antennas, we offer 2 indoor antennas, the Omni for ceiling mounts, and a panel antenna as well. Okay, so here's a bunch of repeaters. You've got the Stella Home single port, single frequency. The next one is 3 frequencies. Okay, then this is just the eye repeater here, which I actually have here. All right, the same thing. It's got 4 ports here, 4 internal antennas, and you've got the input here and connected to the internet. Okay. And this is just another product we've introduced here. It's a 4-band product. It's quite popular. It's got the touch screen, so you can turn on and off bands, add attenuation. We're starting to put these LCD screens into all our products in the coming few months, because it's very useful to be able to turn on and off bands and add attenuation, and just get that extra information as well. So when it comes to installations, it's very important to have a good understanding of how the cable works. So this is the SD240. That comes a standard 12 meter length of this comes with the home kits. You don't need to know about that. Okay, that's a box that's sold to the client. They install it themselves. This is the thick cable that's used for big buildings. Okay, where we need to understand how this works. We need to understand the loss through this cable, how to put connectors on. Okay, this is what we'll be working with. Again, these are the pigtails. So what happens is you've got the SD400 thick cable comes down, okay, and it's quite kind of rigid and it's difficult to maneuver. So it comes down, and then we use a little pigtail just to bring it into the ports like that. Okay, and I've got an example here. You can see the way it is. These are tri-band repeaters, pigtails. Makes it easy to plug in. And there's negligible loss with these pigtails. Okay, I get a question: oh, does that not introduce loss, these connectors? No, it's negligible basically. So, any questions about that overview?